your schools that do not teach. Mr. America, walk on by the minds that won't be reached.
Hey everybody, Joe here, and I am in Audio Mechanics in Burbank, California. This is the owner and operator of Audio Mechanics, the one and only Mr. John Polito. What's happening?
Amen.
This is where the mastering magic happens. John is basically responsible for mastering the bulk of the posthumous catalog for Frank Zappa. You actually did work with Frank, didn't you?
I did.
Oh my gosh, talk about that.
Yeah, I'd love to tell that story. So it was 1991. I had just decided to move back to LA and start Audio Mechanics. I had previously worked for Sonic Solutions.
Yes, and he was incorporating Sonic Solutions so much in the later stuff that he was doing.
He had recently bought one, and he wanted someone to help him operate it. So I went to his house/studio to interview for the job. Very nerve-wracking experience for me, but sitting in the control room, and he's like, yeah, come on in. He goes, I just got to take care of a couple things. So I'm just sitting there, and he's at his synclavier.
Oh.
It's got this program flurry of pianos. I refer to it as a waterfall of piano notes.
Nice.
I play piano, so I'm really interested. I'm hearing it over and over, and he'd make a change. There it is. There's that waterfall again. I couldn't hear any changes. He's not like trying to psych me out. He's really like doing his work there. He just had to get to a point. Finally, he just, sigh of relief. You could tell he liked it. He's like, all right, let's go.
Really?
I'm ready. Yeah. That was my first glimpse into his mind, his creative process. And then there was, others. Let's go down to the vault, and we'd grab tapes. And he goes, we got to build some digital sandwiches today. That was his...
That's a digital sandwich.
Yeah, I realized it's because the digital machines, the 3324s, those are 16-bit. But in Sonic, you could do higher bit. He's so about quality,
Yeah, oh God, yeah.
But we would work, all night on something. He'd just have some random idea. And the cool thing was he wouldn't prejudge any of his ideas until they were complete.
Yeah, because he had to see it through in order to see if it was worth it.
He had to see it through.
Yeah.
And then at the end, he'd be like, nah, let's move on. Let's toss that. Or, I love it. Print it. Yeah, that was a really cool process.
The creative process.
Yeah.
You didn't try to call me. Why did you try if you know what's wrong me?
John does a bunch of mastering here, but he also does audio restoration, which is one of his specialties. He has a whole team of people that he's trained here. And you work on like films, right? Who are some of your clients?
Well, last year I worked on The Sound of Music and Rocky Horror Picture Show. Right now I'm working on Stargate. A lot of titles for all the studios. Restorations and some Atmos upmixes.
A long time ago, one of John's workers gave me a CD of a restoration of a needle drop, which is basically a vinyl source being digitized. I was unbelievably impressed by how good that sounded. It really sounded like it came from tape, but it came from vinyl. And I put that in my back pocket because I thought there's going to be some kind of opportunity in Frank's future where we were going to need to do that process. Case in point, the Freak Out 60th anniversary. John and I worked very closely on the restoration of not only everything that's on that box set, but the mono mix. The mono mix from Freak Out, in the early 80s, Frank won a lawsuit, and he was one of the very first major music icons to be able to get the rights to his master tapes back. So he had everything brought to his house in Laurel Canyon in the early 80s, and that means all of the multi-track and the 2-track masters for his complete catalog and all the archive tapes that were associated with it. Things like the original tape of Freak Out, the original tapes of Absolutely Free, and so on and so forth. The mono master for Freak Out was never in the vault. Nobody knows what happened to it. It either doesn't exist any longer or it just wasn't returned, and it's probably sitting in some dusty vault somewhere in Europe.
Hopefully
Who knows?
a dusty vault somewhere,
Who
right?
knows? Yeah, you would hope so. But interestingly, because of that, we have never had the opportunity to release the mono mix since its release in 1966. After all of the discovery processes that I've gone through in the vault all my years, I was able to find that some of the single masters that Verve and MGM put out in the 60s were the actual mono mixes for a few tracks. So I transferred those. So we've got like 3 songs from tape, but the rest of it would have to come from vinyl because we don't have the tape in the vault. We were actually really lucky because a friend of ours, Scott Parker, was able to nail down a pristine version of the mono vinyl. Didn't it sound just great?
It sounded amazing.
We captured it here, and then John did his magic, and for the first time in 60 years, we're able to offer the mono mix of Freak Out. It's amazing how you can make those needle drops sound so good. Is there anything that you can say to the people without exposing your secrets? I mean, how do you do it?
So many secrets. There's so many secrets. I got my early training from the people who invented the declicking algorithms, and like Andy Moore, who was the genius behind all the Sonic Solutions stuff. He taught me how the processing works, what order it should be done in, and I had mastering engineers from Abbey Road Studios and Capitol Records, like, you know, this is 3.5 Ks, the hi-hat, you know, like stuff like that. So I got
It's a whole science, isn't it?
Yeah, I got to learn from these guys, and then just doing it for so many years, I just have developed what I believe is the right order to do the processing based on not just experience, but based on science too, you know? So I've just been doing it for so long and have learned not to rely on the tools so much. The tools are tools.
But it also is your ear too.
It's also your ear, and sometimes you just have to put the work in. In a case like this, you don't take shortcuts and auto declick the whole record.
Exactly.
You go through and you pick them out. You just go in there with tweezers and you pluck them out.
Yes.
Yeah.
So when I got the reference back of the mono mix for the first time, I knew that, you know, when the time came that the mono mix could be done with John's specialties. And I remember when I heard the ref for the first time, I was driving in my car and I was like, this sounds so good. I was so excited. Man, excellent job, and so happy that we work together. It's so great that all these years later, you're still working on Frank Zappa stuff.
I love it.
Well, thanks for giving some of your time today.
You're welcome. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
Oh my God, you're the greatest.
Yeah.